You know, that's why he says, you know, in the book of Romans, he says that, you know, you are called according to
his purpose. His purpose.
He created us for his purpose, you know, and what he has designed for our lives, you know. And that's why I like what you just said, Vicki, because like you say, Marsha may have a purpose, I may have one, and you may have one, and no two of them may be alike, you know. And
so a lot of people, they go around, like you just said, and they wish for other people's gifts or their purposes. If they see, you see, right now, they see us on television, and they're saying, wow, I can do better than those, you know, and everything, but they're not here.
That's right.
You see, and so therefore, they can get depressed, despondent, and they can get mad at God for not giving them what somebody else has.
I know I didn't, and I'm sure Harriet didn't either. We weren't looking for this.
I wasn't either.
Well, you have it. You have it. But knowing that you had it, I never said, I wish I could be on that. It was like, better her than me was my attitude. And not in a mean way, but because I felt it's overwhelming. You know, and I do not like being on television. I have to tell you that, even though we're on it once a month, I do not like, I'd rather be behind the camera. That's me. But God said, Vicki, you've got to get out of your comfort zone. See, I'm too comfortable back there. I am not comfortable here. As I sit and talk to you, I am not comfortable here. It's not my desire. God says, I have another purpose for you.
Oh, that's good.
I have another purpose for you.
That's good.
Well, you know, Lord, you and I need to sit and talk this out. I mean, this is what goes through my mind. And he says, there's nothing to do. I said it, and that's it. I'll take care of all those unhappy situations that's going through your mind. What don't you like about being in front of the camera? And I've said this to the Lord. I've named them one by one. Not too many, but and he said, don't worry about it. I'll take care of that. So when you gave me a tape and I showed it to my daughter, she sat there and she said nice things. I'm not going to go into it. And I thought, you know, Lord, you really did fix it. She said, Harriet looks good, Marsha looks good, you know, and Tony looks good. He fixed it. So
Vicki, I just, Marsha, it was just a prompting in my spirit as you were speaking that there is somebody that we're talking to today that God is saying to you. When I heard it clearly, Vicki, when you were saying that God was moving you out of your comfort zone. There's somebody out there right now that we're talking to that God's saying, I'm trying to take you out of your comfort zone. There is a purpose that I have for your life.
That's right.
And you are selling yourself down, and I have a purpose for your life. Would you hear what God is saying and answer the call?
Can I continue on that vein because of the lessons that I'm going through with this video? When you are taken out, when you are willing to be taken out of your comfort zone. Remember, this is your comfort zone. There's a picket fence around it. There's beautiful flowers around it. I am in a cocoon. I am very happy. Now, when you get out and your goal is over there, Mr. Wilkerson, I'm doing your lesson. I've learned well. When you get out of your comfort zone, you're going on this trail from point A, that's your goal, that's the purpose. You're going to have snares along the way. Some of your best friends can be the snare. Can be the snare. Quick thing. I have wanted to start a Christian theater in my town. And I was afraid. I'm afraid to spend the money. I'm just afraid. But I approached someone, and I told this someone what my dream was. And there's money involved, and I was able to get a theater dirt cheap.
Oh, praise God.
I'm telling you. I mean, it was just like laid out at my feet. He said, don't worry about it. I said, okay. He said, and we'll back you up financially. I thought, this is great. What do I do for actors? Oh, that's no problem. You put an ad in the paper. It's free. And actors will come. Yeah, but I can't pay them. That's okay. We need volunteer actors. See, he was giving me, but now the snares come in. He says, but this is what I want you to do. And he's laying down one by one things that I'm supposed to do. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. This is what God has placed in my heart. He's taught me. I've had a very good teacher teaching me drama. All of a sudden, this man comes along who knows absolutely less than I do. Now he's telling, see, that was the snare. He was going to start running. And I thought, no, you're playing God with me. Now, my mistake was I backed off and said no, and I jumped right back into my comfort zone.
Because you didn't want to go, you didn't want to go forward.
I wasn't trusting God enough
to go forward.
For him to fulfill his purpose in my life.
Yeah.
Ooh,
and
yeah,
this is how a lot of people do.
Yes.
They say, okay, I'm going to trust God. But when the door opens, they're scared to walk through.
Yes.
And they say, well, I have a purpose. And God said, this is your purpose. But it doesn't look, now I'm going to say this, it doesn't look like what God has said. You know, but it looks hazy. And so you're like, wow, let me back up here. See, when God, and like I say, God spoke to me in May of 2005, I'll never forget it. He said, you'll be doing more TV for such a time as this. I want the unchurched and out of the box. That was my mandate.
Yes.
That was it, period. And all of a sudden, and I waited on God. But I knew the voice of God. I waited on, and then it came from New York to California to here. I mean, just supernatural. I mean, supernatural. And then, you know, here we are. So then I had to ask God, okay, this is why the show is called Such a Time as This. So I think that we're in a time where Christianity is changing.
Yes.
And my thing is to reach the unchurched.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that when people view this show, it will present Christ in a way that it's supposed to be presented, not in a form of religion.
That's right.